The other day, the Oblivion remaster came out, and it seemingly took the internet by storm. It had over 100,000 players within the first couple hours, and this was on, I think, a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I want to say it was a Tuesday, just in the middle of the day. It instantly became one of the best-selling games on Steam for the year, and it just seems to continuously having more and more players. I think right now, anyway, they've crossed over 4 million players. Now, obviously, that's involving Game Pass and things like that. That's how I played the game. But it involved a lot of factors, and that's still 4 million people. That's still a lot of people, and a lot of people are experiencing Oblivion for the first time, including myself. And I was going to do a video where I just kind of talk about my thoughts on Oblivion, but I feel like that's what everybody's doing. This game, though, made me think about something else. As the years have kind of come and gone, it feels like the gaming industry has shifted a lot. And I mentioned this in my other video talking about Expedition 33, but it feels like the gaming industry now relies a lot more on pretty looking graphics than creativity or good game design or completed games. It feels like now they just charge us whatever they feel like it, and they just give us the product when they think it's done, even if that means it's not. And it just made me think about why older games are important. If you look across the channel's history over the last year and a half or so of making videos, I've talked a lot about older games. I've talked about games that I grew up with, games like even Wizard 101, talked about browser games, I've talked about Flash games before, I've talked about new games and games that I grew up playing. And it's just a big variety for myself. But for a lot of people, older games are just where their love lies. I've seen comments on different videos from different people talking about how they don't even really play newer games anymore. They just focus on the games that they grew up with. And honestly, from a lot of different perspectives, I can completely understand this. But it just made me think about why these older games are so important. Is it really just nostalgia? And it's hard to say, because obviously being nostalgic for something just is different for everybody. Everybody feels nostalgic about a different thing. If you grew up in the 2000s, you feel nostalgic by watching those TikTok or Instagram reel videos talking about foods that disappeared. If you grew up in the 80s or the 90s, you feel nostalgic probably looking at things like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or different things like that. And honestly, if you grew up in the 60s and 70s, you're probably not fucking watching this video, but if you are, shout out to you. In all seriousness, though, everybody feels differently about nostalgia and different things like that. So I don't think that older games necessarily are only important because they feel that nostalgic void. Sure, they make us feel full for a little bit, but then we move on and we play different games, at least if you're someone like me and you play a lot of different games. So it's not just that. It's definitely a factor, but it also feels like older games were just made better. It felt like the industry had so much to prove. Right? I remember growing up and being looked down upon for wanting to play video games a lot. It's kind of like the anime community, right? Like when you grew up watching anime in the early 2000s, you were probably bullied for it or shit on for it by a lot of different avenues. And now it feels like every single person and their mother likes anime. And it's like this grand shift. And I feel like gaming has done a very similar thing. It was something that not a lot of people saw in a bright light. I remember my parents, even when I was a kid, shitting on me for playing games a lot. And I feel like that's just the natural parent response. But as we've gone on and as time has progressed and as games have gotten more grand and different things, we're getting all different sorts of media for them now. Obviously, video game to movie adaptations were a thing of the past, but now it feels like video game adaptations are everywhere. I mean, you have Paramount TV shows for them. You have HBO TV shows for them. You have things like the Mario movie and the upcoming Zelda movie. And all these things are great. These are all great for the industry. You know, people get more jobs. More games being made means there's more opportunities for people like myself to make videos on them, or for streamers to explode because of things like funny moments from a new GTA release. But with all of that, as again, someone who grew up playing games, I feel like there's just something missing. I feel like older games just had so much more character to them. I feel like they were just more loved before they were released. It feels like there was just more of an oomph put into games. You know what I mean? Like, there's just something about thinking about playing Smash 4 for the first time, or playing Halo Reach for the first time with friends on Xbox Live, or even setting up an Xbox Live account for the first time, taking out the Wii, putting in Wii Sports, you know, all of these different things, booting up a GameCube for the first time and seeing that logo fucking spin around the screen. But it just feels like it's different now. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, man. I fucking love video games. Elden Ring, I sunk hundreds of hours into. Breath of the Wild's one of my favorite games ever made. Expedition 33 is amazing. I mean, I named you guys after a fucking nickname in Cyberpunk 2077, right? I call you guys Chooms in every post and in every video. But it just feels, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm older now and, you know, I'm reaching unk status. Maybe it's because games are reaching prices that I don't really agree with, especially for the quality of what we're getting. I honestly really started to feel this way while playing Expedition 33, and that's why I haven't really made a video in a couple days, because I've just been sitting here thinking about this. I turn around and I look at my collection, I look at my original DS box and my GameCube and all my original Xbox 360 titles, and it just feels different. Now, I studied film in college. This is a complete side tangent, by the way, so sorry. And I love movies, and I feel very similarly with movies. Now, that's not to say that movies now suck, okay? We are getting, especially recently, some of the best movies to ever fucking hit the screen. But it feels like with these older movies and older games and older TV shows, people had things that they needed to prove. And so they gave everything 110%. You know, I remember fucking Mario Kart on the Wii being just an absolute banger. That's not to say that Mario Kart 11 or whatever this new Mario Kart game that's coming out is going to be bad in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying things felt different. And I don't know, I'm definitely not the only person to ever talk about this, but I feel like games now just don't hit the same. And I think that's why older games and older media preservation is very, very important. I've talked about this before, about how physical games feel like they're slowly slipping out of the mainstream, and I absolutely fucking hate it. Now, I know that's contradictive because I've talked about how much I love Nintendo, and right now they seem like kind of the biggest perpetrators of trying to phase out physical gaming. But I think that is why old media is so important, and it's so important to talk about it, because some of these experiences, there are going to be kids that grow up, and hear me out here, there are going to be kids that grow up that are born now to maybe 2 years prior to where we are right now that will never even know how insane World of Warcraft was when it first released. There are going to be kids that grow up that never experienced a Xbox Live night with your friends, staying up until 2 in the morning on your box TV, trying to make sure that the screen looked good, and you're fucking with like the red cord and the green cord and the yellow cord in the back, or blue, or whatever TV cord you had, and you're spinning them and you're trying to get it in just right so that way the picture doesn't get fuzzy while you play Halo Reach with your friends. There are going to be kids that never get these experiences, and they're only going to know things like Fortnite or these live service bullshit games that just pump out bullshit over and over and over and over again just to try to get a credit card from you. And again, if you like Fortnite, if you like League of Legends, if you like Valorant and all these other games, that's totally fine. If that's your cup of tea, man, go for it. Viewers of this channel know I'm not someone to shit on anybody's opinions, but from where I'm standing, it's just sad to see. And maybe it's because at my day job, I'm like exposed to people of all ages, right? Like somebody told me the other day their kid was 7 years old, and I looked at their birthday and they were born in fucking 2018. Okay, that made me feel really old. But just in general, like I feel bad that we are slowly going to a place in the gaming industry where it just doesn't feel the same. Sure, we get really good breaths of fresh air, right? We got Black Myth Wukong, we had ReFantazio, we have Expedition 33, we had Elden Ring, and there's probably 1,000 other titles from the last 10 years that I could name that just felt like old style gaming to me. But that doesn't mean that old style gaming is here to stay. And unfortunately, it feels more and more every day, every year, every new big AAA release that we're just slowly regressing. And you guys know me, I'm usually a super positive person on this channel. I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom. I'm actually literally just trying to have a conversation with this video. That's also pretty new for me because usually in these videos, I read an article and then I give you my opinions on it and why I either think it's cool or I think it's bullshit or I talk about how excited I am for a new game. But man, I've just been feeling different recently. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I just got a Sony Walkman and I'm listening to cassette tapes again and remembering how much I fucking love those. But just in general, I guess what I'm trying to get across for the people that are still watching this video for some reason is that old media is really important and older games matter so much more than you may think. And yes, we have services like the Xbox services or the Nintendo services or the PlayStation services that give you the opportunity to play these older games like Crash. But these services, yes, they give you the chance to play these older games, but it's just not going to be the same because we're getting to a point now where we're just not going to really own anything. So if you take anything away from this video, just keep an open mind. You know what I mean? If you're someone that likes digital gaming, fucking have at it, man. But I'm just going to warn you right now, companies eventually are going to try to strip those rights away from you. I mean, Ubisoft is actively doing this right now. And if you think, oh, maybe that's just a one-off, maybe that's just Ubisoft being Ubisoft, no, that's not how industries work. That's not how companies work. Trust me, other companies are seeing Nintendo set Mario Kart at $80 and they're taking notes. I mean, hell, the industry is literally waiting on GTA 6. Okay, and if it's gonna be $100 or not. So again, if you take anything away from this video, man, anything at all, just please go to a local game store, buy an old Game Boy, buy a GameCube. My GameCube was fucking $40, okay? Get some old games and just have fun. Gaming was never meant to be something super serious unless you're talking about esports, which is a whole other can of worms. But these older games mean a lot to me and they mean a lot to a lot of people. And I hope that maybe this video is gonna mean a lot to you and you'll go out and try something new too. Let me know your thoughts about older games and gaming media and just the way the industry is going in the comment section. Again, I'm not telling you how to feel. I'm not telling you what to do with your money besides maybe go buy an older game and game console. I'm just trying to, I don't know. I have a small platform now. Maybe this can start some sort of discussion. I don't fucking know, man. I've just been in a weird funk recently in terms of games. I don't really know what else to play right now. I'm kind of bored of playing Oblivion all day. I'm kind of bored of playing CSGO. I don't know. Let me know what you think, What the fuck am I saying? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. This has been Nate, otherwise known as Wicked. I'm gonna probably go play something on my GameCube. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.